Let me tell you a quick story. So recently today, I actually went to a bit of like a meetup, like a group meetup to meet a bunch of like-minded creators. It's pretty much like a group meetup, like studying like photography or like, well, I don't know. I wouldn't say study creators. It's more like a group meetup to like meet up a bunch of like-minded creators and we just study together, like such as work on our own projects. And I came across a guy actually where he always was asking me specific questions like, how do you get into content creation or like, what's your long-term goals? He was asking like a lot of deep questions. And then I think like it was great he was asking, but when he was asking those questions, I was starting to struggle to answer it myself. And it's interesting why he was asking those questions because I think like he's like this because this guy was like in his mid 30s, right? Like 36. He's got like a wife and kids, and he wants to get into content creation. But like I feel like it's kind of funny because like like when he sees me as like a representation of like younger self himself, thinking he should have went after what he should have done when he was my age. Like, I should have just went full out and just did content creation because it's just such a interesting concept. Like I don't no, I'm not gonna come across as like to him how like he wasted his life or he's a fucking loser. I don't want to say that. I'm not gonna say that. No, but I'm not saying that. But he just kind of wished that when he was my age, he wished he just would have just went for it, just fucking send it instead of wasting so much time. And now it's kind of interesting how he's having so much regrets. Like, he's got to deal like he has a family, he has like a kid, and he's got to deal with some finance problem recently. And it's just kind of interesting how like he just kind of see me as like an inspiration at a young age, like someone like for example, like he said I pretty much inspire him to like actually go out there and create content and just do shit, because he wants to get into the content creation world, but he just doesn't know where to start. He said he watches all these like entrepreneurs like Dan Coe, Ali Abdul Hams, and all the it's like all the entrepreneurs like fucking Iman Gassi, all the like a lot of people watch, but you don't take action, and he's kind of wishing like where do you start? And I was like, I'm just like, you just gotta fucking do it. That's just the thing. Like, you have to just start. And it's just kind of interesting how like he was just talking about how like he was just asking me questions like, how do you get into that mindset where you just don't give a fuck? Like, like because he was talking to me like, were you always like that you didn't give a fuck or not? I was like, no, I wasn't like that. And I feel like the reason why he was asking that question because it's interesting because he sees me as like a younger version of himself, of someone who just took action, of like thinking he should have just went for it when he was younger. Like, like it's just interesting because I don't know, it's just such an interesting. Cause I didn't know at that first he was asking some deep questions and all of that. Like he was seen as like a younger representation of like himself. It's just like if younger him like went for what he actually wanted to, and it's just an interesting deep philosophy thing, like, and I didn't know he was doing that at first, but then he's like, like, and he's the reason why I was asking is well, I don't know, not asking, but the reason why, because he sees me as like a younger version of himself, of thinking what he should have went after, and it's just. I don't know. It's just interesting. Like I don't want him to say like I feel bad for him. Like I think he has like even you should not compare yourself. First things first, is what I learned is that one thing is you shouldn't compare yourself to yesterday, like to someone else's life's pathway. That's one because everyone goes their own pathway. Two is that what the fuck am I? Two is that even if you don't get to where you want to get to, like even you haven't gotten your life sorted out, you still got a slightly advantage than most people. Like for example, like him, he's unfair advantage than my fucking unfair advantage is that he's got experience of knowing what it feels like being a father and knows how and what's it like living and he's got more life experience than I do because he's like mid 30s. He's got way more experience than I do, right? And then it's kind of interesting how like he says like he's fine, but he's not. He's probably got more experience than most people. Like if you're fucking 30 and you can use that as an unfair advantage to share your teachings to the internet, right? And someone like myself, like I guess I just fucking went for it. Like that's why someone like my age, like if you're like fucking around my age, like 20 or That's why you should just go after what you actually want to fucking go after. Like for example, someone like myself, like the reason why I'm pursuing what I actually want to pursue, like become like a travel photographer, travel content creator, or not, it's because fucking why not? Because I've got nothing to lose. Like, I've got nothing to lose and I can just go for it. And it's just such an interesting question, you know, like it's such an interesting question how like he was talking about like I'm pretty sure like a few years ago or like maybe like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, he was working at as a I don't know, I think he was being like a delivery man. I don't know, some low class job, right? And then he just started questioning like imagine he started talking to himself about imagine like is this it? Imagine like am I designed to like fucking work my whole life just to become this type of shitty job? And it's such an interesting question because it does make you think, question your own life. Like, even like, because you know how you only have like one life to live and you always question your life every day. Like, question, like, like, oh, should I be doing this? Should I do this job? Or should I go after this? Like, because it is an interesting question. Like, even like, he wasn't not the only one talking about it. I mean, like, one of my high school mates, right? Like, he just did he was doing like an internship for some engineer job some like railway engineer, and he even once he quit that internship, he started questioning his career pathway. He's like, oh, I don't know if this is it for me. I don't know if like being a fucking this type of engineer is for me actually in the long run. Like I don't know if it's something I actually want to pursue, and that's actually a good learning experience because that's why it's good out there to go out there and experience life. Like you want to go out and experience like a bunch of shit jobs so you can actually know what the fuck it feels like. Because a lot of people always wait for like the perfect time to start something, a perfect time to like, oh, yeah, I want to do this and hopefully it will be my purpose. But then sometimes some people who study hard or work hard to the dream outcome they want is not the ideal life they want. Because I mean, Hamza said that he initially wanted to become like a digital nomad, but then he became a digital nomad. He realized, like, no, this is fucking shit. This is not the lifestyle I want. And it's kind of the same thing for me. Like, even I still question what I want to become a travel photographer. And speaking of that other guy, I was talking about how he was like, "What's my long term goals?" He was saying asking those questions because he's just saying that what would future young himself with the mindset I have would do. Like I don't know. Even I'm still figuring out myself. Like I'm figuring out a lot of stuff actually. Like even today, like I'm still figuring out like if being a travel photographer is something I want to do, or if it's just like there's days where I do feel like giving up, but then I keep pushing through. So I don't know. I thought I'd just come here and talk about something pretty deep. So I don't know. It's just interesting. It's such an interesting concept. I don't know. I know there's point nothing valuable to talk about, but I just thought I just came here to talk in front of camera and say some shit. So yeah, I hope this you fucking I don't know gave some insights and yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna put this title. I'm gonna make up some random title and yeah. See ya. Bye.